Welcome to Aditi Coach TV. My name is Adlife Mohamba. Many job candidates, they dread the question about salary requirements, whether during an interview or the job application process. So by the end of this video, you know why interviewers ask this question, dynamics of this question, what you are expected to say, and obviously what we don't expect to hear from you as a candidate. And if you know all this, you are guaranteed that the job is yours. Before we go into the final details of this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell so that you get notified every time we post a video. Also, please comment and ask a question below so that we can always improve our content. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So companies, they already have good budgets in place before flighting any job ad. So they want to ensure that the compensation expectation of a candidate align to the budget that they would have already calculated or set. Point number 2, as a company, we want to gauge how well you know your worth. Right. So self-awareness is important when you're answering the salary question. Candidates are hired on value, and the value we see it through experience, achievements, skills, and obviously your qualifications. So if you cannot add value to our company, or if you cannot solve our pain points, then obviously you are not culture fit, and we do not want you in our company. Third, companies want to make sure that you're not overqualified for the job that they would have flagged. So these are the don'ts when you're answering the salary question. Don't provide a specific figure because it is very uninformed. You might say to yourself, I've done a research, but maybe the research is from a different region from where you come from. Or you're researching about companies in the United States of America, whereas you are in South Africa, Zimbabwe or Uganda. Obviously, the salaries, they are not universal, international, or globally. So, you may not know information that is very informed. So at the end of the day, please do not talk about a specific figure. Number 2, don't say a wider range, because in most cases, employers will opt for the lower range. So if you're talking about a range, your range should not be more than 10,000. Number 3, don't be rigid. Be always open to negotiation. But your negotiation should be informed. Don't ever say something that is not informed when you're answering the salary question, or when you're in an interview, answering any type of question that you might be asked by the panel. Fourth, be truthful. Don't lie. Don't lie about the experience. Don't lie about the impact that you have made before from your previous or current job. Don't do it on your resume. Don't do it anyway. Don't do it in your cover letter. Don't do it on your LinkedIn profile. Be truthful and honest. There are 2 dynamics when you're responding to the salary question. You can be asked during the application process, for example, on an application form or a questionnaire on a website. Or you can be asked during any stage of the interview. It could be first round, second round, third or final round of the interview. This is how you can respond when you ask this question on an application process. Number 1, put a salary range, but it has to be based on a research. Number 2, write a phrase like negotiable so that you can demonstrate your flexibility. Then lastly, avoid putting down a specific figure or a specific salary. Why? Because obviously this will make it seem as if you are unwilling to budge. So this is how you respond during the interview. Number 1, ask for a budget, because you need to be informed on the monetary and non-monetary aspects. If you don't have a budget, you're always going to say something that is very uninformed, and you might say something that is over budget. At the end of the day, you're going to lose that opportunity. But you need to show that you are willing to negotiate. Why? Because it says much about your personality and professionalism. However, when you're negotiating or when you're putting in a range or figures, you need to know that there's a willing to settle number, there's a nice to have, and lastly, obviously, there's a number that you cannot budge. Number 2, if you're asked this question during the start of the interview, please ensure that you deflate it towards the end of the interview. Why? It is because during the start of the interview, we haven't had anything that you can do for us. We don't know if you are going to be able to solve our problems or our pain points. And we can only see that you can solve our pain points by knowing the value that you can bring. By having an understanding of the quantifiable achievements that you accumulated in your career. So, for an example, you could say something like, I'm open to discussing specific numbers once we have discussed the details of this position, so that you get informed better in terms of what the position entails. But if they continue to press, you have to give a range. But when you're giving a range, it has to be informed, and the range is supposed to be short. So it could be anything like $10,000 per annum. Number 3, after all the information is given, remember that at some point during the interview process, you are going to give a specific number and not a range. But what is important is that it has to be informed. So you could say something like, given the responsibility of this position and the number of people that I'll be managing, I think $200 is a fair figure. It could be any number. It's an exciting position and opportunity, and I believe that looking at my quantifiable achievements, my experience, I'm the best person for the job. If you found this video exciting, informative, please don't forget to like and leave a comment.